going to make this so plain and simple for you that you will forever hold the formula to increase your value. Value is based on where you're at, literally your location in life. You are not in the right spot, and that's why they can't see your value. Move away from those people that can't see past who you were before you started working on your transformation and glow up. It's none of my business, nor your business, if we are not someone's preference. This is the Ever Airwaves Think podcast, brought to you by Live One Company, where we explore ideas that challenge, comfort, and clarify. I'm Liv, and in every episode, we break down life's complexities with intellect, insight, and a touch of curiosity. All right, we're on air. Hey, love, and I say love because you love that term of endearment, so I'm going to keep saying it until the trend stops trending, I guess. My love, your value raises with a few things: your perceived quality, reputation, your context, and the validation of where you're at. Literally, where are you at? How do people perceive you? What do others believe you are worth? How do people price you? Yes, I said price you because I need for you to really get this. They are looking at your expertise. What knowledge and skills do you have, sis? They are studying the way you communicate, your reliability, your appearance, and how you show up. Why should they categorize you as high class? Because I'm confused. You want to be assessed as a top tier boss B. You know what? Let me take that back. Let's say boss chick. I'm cleaning it up. All right. I'm cleaning it up. I'm a work in progress over here. All right. So judge me not. The gag is, shout out to Keke Palmer, you don't even look the part. You're not even pretending. And didn't I teach you how to pretend until you caught on? What do people see and think about you? Not what do you see and think about you, but how do people describe your character? Because this matters. It matters what people think about you when you're trying to increase your value, because whether you like it or not, it's about their perception when it comes to your public valuation. Keyword, public valuation, not personal valuation, public valuation. You can sit over there and say you don't care what other people think about you, but when we're talking about increasing your overall value, it's never just about your internal self components. It's about your internal and your external components and how they make you show up. And I'm going to make this so plain and simple for you that you will forever hold the formula to increase your value as long as you do the work. And I'm going to motivate you to do the work because I am my sister's keeper. Yes, I am. And having an intrigued mind is one thing because, you know, I'm all about that intellectual life, elevation, and glow up. But if you don't have any initiative or drive in you, then I really can't help you. You can keep listening to this to make you feel good, to tickle your dopamine levels for the day. But that's about all this will do if you only listen and don't make moves. I hope you make moves. I was listening to 50 Cent recently. Yes, 50 Cent. Hey, I listen to a little bit of everybody, okay? But he was being interviewed and it reminded me of some powerful things he said before about knowing and understanding your value. But hold on, wait a minute, right? I cannot dismiss his recklessness in these social media streets. 50 Cent is always keeping his foot on someone's neck. Don't ever owe 50 anything and don't ever cross him because he is not letting up until he runs you over and backs up and hits the reverse. That's how he do. He is a diabolical social media troll. Dude is a menace. I'm serious. I will say a lot smarter than many may think. He is actually very intelligent and I respect that about him. And I've actually read a few of his books in the past. He has a great business mindset and I love some of the strategic moves he's making in the industry. About 2 or 3 years ago, I read his book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Exceptional read. Okay. Pick up the book. Then the other day, I remember something he said in an interview. He talked about how value is based on where you're at, literally your location in life. And I couldn't unhear it. So I'm bringing it to the table. Like I'm bringing what 50 Cent shared and probably recycled in his own creative and transparent way. girl, I was inspired. Okay. I got it right away what he was saying. It clicked with me. And the way I'm about to bring it to you, but in my own way, I hope it will click with you. Now, see how I give credit where credit is due? Some of you would never. All right, let me break this down quick and easy for you. What we're about to do is some simple valuations so you can understand the premise of this concept of your value and how it's based on where you're at. What is a valuation? A valuation is basically an appraisal, it's an assessment, it's a judgment of how much something is worth. Easy breezy. A lot of us see valuations when you're buying your home. You want to know the value, you have someone go out and assess it. That's simply what we're talking about. Take, for example, a beautiful piece of artwork. A beautiful piece of artwork is sold on the street for $20, $100 at a local art fair. Then it's sold for $1,000 if it's displayed in a small gallery. $10,000 sold by a recognized artist in a prestigious gallery. $100,000 if it's auctioned off at a renowned auction house. And then, if it's displayed in a museum as a masterpiece, then of course that's priceless. So same beautiful piece of artwork, but it's not about the artwork. It's about where it's at. So you are not in the right spot. And that's why they can't see your value. If you move from where you're at, your value will increase. You are the beautiful piece of artwork here. In my example, you are the artwork. But if you're in the wrong place, then that's how you are valued. If you have not elevated yourself from the streets, okay, remember in the streets, you're only $20, then you, my dear, are a decoration or an impulse buy from someone. If you are at the local fair level, then at the table, you are only a community commodity that holds some kind of creative merit, I would say. And then for all my girls that are smart gallery level, then you are professional, you are curated commodity, and you're valued way higher. Pretty much you are in the right places where they begin to value you based off of what you bring to the table. A prestigious gallery and auction house level girls, you're in a whole nother ball game. You're in the right place where your reputation and exclusivity pretty much automatically assessed at a higher value because of your location. It's about where you're at. And if you're in the streets, I hope you're not in the streets. Okay, we're not hanging with people in the streets. But society says if you're in the streets, your value is low. But if you are in prestigious galleries, auction houses, and fine art museums, your value is validated by experts. All right, so experts are always validating things at a higher value because they know the worth of things, and it's based on location. So sis, we need to go for the expert valuation. You have to increase your perceived quality, your perceived reputation, your context, and we have to do this by being in the right spaces. That's how we do it. Where your price is validated at higher brackets. I hope you get it. Where you are, where you're located, where you're standing, where you're at is where you're being valued at. Are you next to the Taco Bell, Yo Quiero Taco Bell, where you're valued at a $5, $6 meal? Are you over there near the Ruth Chris Steakhouse? Where your value is way, way higher. $100, $200 meals, all right? Exquisite dining. That's what I'm talking about. 50 cents said a bottle of water sold in the grocery store is $1. And he's right. I got me a bottle of water today from the grocery store. It was $1. It's $2 at the gym, $4 at the airport, and $7 on the plane. This is all about your location. The product hasn't changed. You're still getting the same bottle of water, a bottle of water. The setting you're in, your exclusivity, meaning if you're in rooms of status and wealth where there are premium audiences and places and people that will pay more and that the cost is more, that's what it's about. I want you in rooms, premium rooms. I want to know though, what rooms are you in? What rooms are you displaying your gifts and talents in right now? If you're not in premium audiences and premium places, then where are you? Are you in the same rooms around the same people doing the same things you were doing 5 years ago? If so, then that's why you have not increased your value. Your value is at where you're at. Where is your progression? We should not be doing the same things that we were doing 3 or 5 years ago. Change your scene. I'm talking about status symbol. The social proof is people pay higher prices in settings where exclusivity is a status symbol. Where there is limited access, people pay more. If you're flying first class or business class to Dubai, the price for one way is around $4,000 and up just for one way. The question is, what are you getting with that? Like, what comes with business class? You get top tier service, privacy, a comfortable bed, probably private bathrooms, shower access with, I'm sure, refreshing toiletries, and like chef kiss food and drinks. Top shelf beverage me up, please, right? But if you are flying main cabin to Dubai, hey, the fact that you're going is nice in itself, and I don't want to discount that, but you're not getting to lay down on that straight long 16-hour flight at all. Your chair may be reclined a little, and you'll have a limited food option selection, but by the time you land, your butt will stink, your legs cramped up, and your body rank from sitting on your assets. In tight, condensed, non-reflowable airplane seats. I'm just saying. That's exclusivity. And that's about where you're at when you're in business class. I want you to get this. I want to remind you that Ever Airwaves Think podcast is here to help you redefine what it means to live the soft life. And I live the podcaster that is podcasting this show. I'm here to help you live in your soft life era. And this episode is really focused on you ladies. And of course, for any of my male listeners tuning in too, okay, shout out to those of you fellas out there. I really appreciate you for being here. But again, ladies, if you feel undervalued and overlooked or stuck in a space that just doesn't match the queen energy you bring to the table, then you must change your location. To skyrocket our perceived values, we have to make moves. We literally have to make moves. We have to position ourselves in spaces both physically and mentally where our worth is recognized, elevated, and celebrated. For some of you, this may actually mean you need to pack up and move across the country. Do what you gotta do. Move away from those people that can't see past who you were before you started working on your transformation and glow up. These type of people, old friends, acquaintances, and even some irritated family members, because we got some of them, right? That always got something to say that's negative and are part of the reason your value and worth has not increased. You need to get away from them. And as I explained in the artwork example, your perceived value is about how much people believe you are worth based on what you bring to the table and where you're at. So if you are at a hole in the wall bar with your friends, strawberry mango margarita or whiskey sour, loves me a whiskey sour, but mind your business. And you know how your drinks be bussin', because they be bussin' at them hole in the walls. The hole in the walls will always hit the spot. The hole in the wall, something about them. Food and drinks be so good, okay? But if you're having that same drink at a rooftop lounge with a city skyline view somewhere where you live or somewhere where you're visiting, those drinks will cost you north of $20 to $25. Those same drinks, because the atmosphere feels luxurious and the drinks didn't change. You're getting the whiskey sour, you're getting the mango margarita, strawberry mango margarita drink, but your environment did change. So you're paying for the perceived value for my two favorite drinks. Cheers. Let me share with you, just a few years ago, I was doing some motivational speaking at an event that I was invited to. Yes, main speaker energy, okay? For me. But anyway, I loved every bit of it. And I was there for the day for this event. It was a great crowd, great energy, local TV stations, business owners, influencers, and all, but nothing too fancy. I mean, there was a level of civic duty to it as well. So I feel I was there and I was in the right place doing the right thing, but I practically did it for free. And I say free because I paid for my travel and my meals, and the small payment I received in return as a speaker didn't even cover 1/4 of my travel expenses, but I was okay with it. I was, there for the greater good. And honestly, I wasn't expecting payment at all. And to me, what they gave me was more of a token of appreciation, although the memo line on the check said speaker fee. So I felt good about, the motivational messaging I pretty much had put out there. And I could tell from afterwards that people were inspired because of all the people coming up to me for media interviews, to hop on some of their live streams, and just personal discussions and more. But after my talk with a few of the guests there were some of them that said, you should really start charging for this. And I don't know what made them think that I wasn't getting paid or wasn't getting anything from it, because I never spoke spoke of that at all. But, I kind of laughed it off. And it's not that I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could, in a sense of, I think I just didn't feel right asking for them to pay me. And it's probably because I wasn't used to asking. Go to events, just do stuff, civic duty, community service, love to help people. It was more of just me allowing people to kind of do so on their own. Like if they felt led to pay me, as I've always approached things with a giving heart, especially when it comes to like motivating and uplifting and inspiring people and really putting them on game by teaching them what I know. In my mind, I'm just like, the world is round for a reason. And I just continue to say that to myself because the meaning to me is that with the world being round for a reason, it will eventually just come back to me. My efforts will pay off in the long run as a form of real payment. Fast forward to another event. Same talk, but this time it was in a more elevated type venue. There was industry leaders, political people. Yes, okay, your girl, I was sharing the stage with some state Supreme Court judges, university professors from, PWIs and deans from HBCUs. And there was huge media broadcasters there as well, and a few self-made multimillionaire CEOs. So I enjoyed getting to pick their brain and talk to them as well. They were doing really big things, and just other industry leaders in the audience. And guess what? When they reached out to me for the event to come speak, they were already asking me of my speaker fee request and contract writers. To me, once they said that triggered something in me. Like, okay, from now on, I'm going to make sure that I start asking this because they asked me, this is a bigger venue. So I feel like I've arrived to the point where I should be able to ask and demand in a nicely way my speaker fee, and I'm not that picky at all. So as far as contract writers, so as long as I had like my table set up, bottled water, and a few other small things, right? I was good to go. I'm just easygoing. And, my motivational messaging hadn't changed at all. I hadn't changed my message, but the only thing that had changed that was now putting coins in my pocket was the environment. It was the venue. It was the type of people. I need for you to understand when my location changed, my messaging and what I was saying had not changed, but my location, my environment, the people who were willing to pay, that's what changed. My environment changed. That's when money started coming in my pocket. If you're sitting in cheap seats, no one is paying VIP prices for your gifts. It's not you, it's the seats. When it comes to your value, you must lean into this. I want to be very clear. Yes, take your gifts and talents to those VIP rooms and leave your door open and remain humble, like for community and civic opportunities, because at the end of the day, you're not better than anybody. You just know how to bring your value to the table. I say this because I don't want you to lose your head. Some people lose their head when they get into these big rooms and despise their humble beginnings. But hey, what the Bible say? Pride comes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. So watch it. Lord, please always keep me humble. In Jesus' name, amen. You are not for everyone, and not everyone is for you. I want you to lower your expectations around the idea that everyone will see your value, because they won't. Some people are perfectly happy with the dollar store, and that's their business. So trying to force the people around you to see your worth when they're fully committed to misunderstanding you is not where it's at. So don't even bother. For me, when it comes to this, I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. I just had to. No, if you know, you know. No, but for real, I am so glad I accepted this early on. Everyone will not see my value, and it's okay. People like what they like and they value what they value. And I respect that fully because we're human and we are entitled to our preferences. Really, it's none of my business nor your business if we are not someone's preference. Just let it be. Just let it be. Like spending my time to convince people my worth. Yes, people I know, people I've called friends, acquaintances, and even some family members is not my ministry. Okay, it's not your ministry. If they can't see your value, if they can't see your worth, you need to stop tripping. It is what it is. Keep it moving. Like I said, the world is round for a reason, and I don't need to say what's already understood. You feel me? Hey, love, there are a few ways to increase your value. You have to audit your environment. Consider what space are you currently occupying professionally, socially, and emotionally, I would say. Move strategically and place yourself in high value spaces only. Be around high value people. Maybe even create little challenges for yourself to make sure that you are around high value people so you can kind of stay committed to your goals. Then you have to also say no to things and people that drain your energy. I think this one hurts some people that I know because they want my availability. When they reach out to me, they're like, can you do this? Can you do that? Can we hang out? And I have to say no sometimes. Like, I'm just not available. I'm not available. I'm working on my own things. And if it's not that, I don't want to help them. It's not that I don't want to be there for them, but some of the things they're doing or are into are off brand for me and are hinders to my time. Or I truly just don't have the time right now. Like I said, some things they want to do are things that I find to be rewards, like going out to eat or going to a spa or brunches and events and traveling. And I am heads down and have not hit my goals yet. And I'm not going anywhere. I have to say no because I don't prematurely celebrate hitting my goals. I wait to actually hit my goals or incremental milestones before I reward myself. This is just how I operate. And you have to figure out how things work best for you. Sis, your time is premium. My time is premium, and we have to treat it as such. And of course, importantly, you have to invest in yourself, whether it's education, personal development, increasing your faith, self-care. Put your energy into what makes you grow. Your value is at where you're at, my love. Move yourself into high value environments because high value environments attract high value people. If you're in the wrong spaces, you now have the blueprint for what you need to do to start increasing your value right now. I hope you do it. Thanks for listening to the Ever Airwaves Think podcast. If today's episode made you elevate, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep questioning until you have those answers. I'm out.